What's up everyone, and happy holidays. Welcome to another episode of Variant. As you can tell, I got an early gift this year, which would be a head cold, but hey, the show must go on. Anyway, the first ever Aquaman live action film is just around the corner, and I must say, it looks extremely fun. And with the movie's release coming up, we are going to be covering several of the key characters in the film, as promised. So today we're kicking things off with the history of the film's main antagonist and half-brother to Aquaman, Orm, aka Ocean Master. Ocean Master first appeared in Aquaman issue 29 in September of 1966 and was created by Bob Haney and Nick Cardy. Ocean Master has become known as one of Aquaman's greatest villains, second only to Black Manta, but he's also widely known for being a Justice League villain, hence the popular storyline, Throne of Atlantis. As a character, he's grown in popularity over the years, and we're pretty interested to see what James Wan and DC do with him on the big screen. But to really know how the on-screen character stacks up, let's take a look at his comic book origin. So as I just mentioned, Orm, aka Ocean Master, first appeared in Aquaman 29 back in '66. He was Aquaman's half-brother, and they shared the same father, Tom Curry. However, Aquaman's mother was Atlana, which made him half Atlantean, while Orm's mother was a normal human, Mary O'Sullivan, which means the original Silver Age version of Ocean Master had no superpowers. That's right, no powers. So after he took a hit to the head by a falling rock and got amnesia, in the hospital he tells Aquaman, "I don't know who you are, Buster. Keep in mind, it's the 60s, and continues to say, "You can't keep me here. I'm getting out to make my mark on the seas." Basically, he went from jealous brother to just pure evil. So he designed a special suit that allowed him to operate underwater. And he essentially became a terrorist pirate who was always trying to dethrone Aquaman and take the throne for himself. What I'm saying is, Orm wasn't the best brother. Now, post-Crisis, Ocean Master's origin and mythos changed as it did for many DC characters. Writer Peter David spearheaded the new changes for both Aquaman and Orm. Aquaman was no longer the biological son of Tom Curry, instead he was adopted. Orm was also no longer the biological son of Tom Curry. Instead, both Orm and Aquaman were the sons of the ancient Atlantis wizard, Atlan. Although Ocean Master didn't know this at first, but once he finds out his father was an Atlantean wizard, he wants to take the throne of Atlantis, just like in pre-Crisis continuity. Initially, neither he nor Aquaman knew that they were brothers, although Aquaman would make this connection later on. So now you know his pre- and post-Crisis origins, but let's take a look at his modern origin from DC's New 52, which is my personal favorite take on him and the one being used in the Aquaman movie. In Ocean Master's modern take, he is once again the half-brother of Aquaman, but this time he has no relation to Tom Curry and is instead the son of Aquaman's mother, Atlana. How it all went down is Atlana saved Tom Curry when he was thrown overboard during a severe storm. The two fell in love, got busy, and had a kid. She stayed on the surface world as long as she could with Tom and her son Arthur, but eventually had to return back to Atlantis, leaving Arthur with his dad to avoid any Atlantean tyranny. Once back to Atlantis, she was forced to marry an Atlantean guard, which is who she conceived Orm, her second child, with. So as you can see this time around, Orm is 100% Atlantean as opposed to his Silver Age version. 12 years later, Orm's father is killed, and wanting the throne for himself, he kills his mother, making him the new ruler of Atlantis. This would lead to Ocean Master spearheading the Atlantean War and attacking the surface world during the Throne of Atlantis story arc, which I'll get into during story arcs. Now, the crazy thing about Ocean Master is that he really wasn't all that prevalent in comics until more recent years, when Jeff Johns gave him his new updated origin, giving his mythos a complete overhaul. With that said, the first time Aquaman and Ocean Master fought was in Aquaman 29, which again was his first appearance. In the issue, Ocean Master endangers all shipping with a booby-trapped whale that causes all kinds of ocean disasters. Of course, Aquaman and his sidekick Aqualad set out to stop him. During their fight, Aquaman refuses to fight Ocean Master back and just dodges every attack Ocean Master throws at him. This is because, of course, he doesn't want to hurt his brother, even though he's a Looney Tune. In any case, the military threw some TNT into the water to take out Ocean Master. Though the explosion shocked him, it ultimately allowed Ocean Master to get away. We would next see Ocean Master in Aquaman issue 35. In this issue, Black Manta attacks Aquaman and is able to capture him by using a biomagnet that makes Aquaman stick to Manta's ship. With Aquaman secured, Manta is able to move on to stage 2, which is releasing a chemical in the water that is able to get past Atlantis' force field and contaminate their water, forcing them to use exhaust pumps and valves to get rid of the water in Atlantis. Which is a problem because Atlantean scientist Dr. Voko says, as water breathers, we can only breathe for an hour inside the city now. To make matters worse, Ocean Master arrives at Atlantis, still suffering from amnesia, mind you, but nonetheless is all like, yeah, I'm the one who's gonna defeat Aquaman and rule the seas, not this Black Manta guy. But after this, Black Manta is able to kidnap Aquaman's son and hold him for ransom on his ship. Aquaman is free at this point, so Manta gives him an ultimatum: surrender or your son is bye-bye. Clearly, if someone has your baby like that, you have to do whatever they say. So Aquaman surrenders, but just as he's doing so, Ocean Master intervenes and takes Aquababy, and then opens fire on Black Manta's ship. As again, no one is taking Aquaman down but him. This led to a pretty epic fight between Black Manta and Ocean Master, with Aquaman caught in the middle. Ultimately, Ocean Master saves Aquaman from Black Manta's harpoon, and defeats Manta, after which he returns Aquababy to Aquaman. He then says, "Thus I return your son to you, Sea King, though if you were not helpless, there would be only battle between us. Farewell." So Ocean Master is evil, but at least he has some honor. Anyway, as he's leaving, he says, "The Ocean Master's destiny is different than all others. My goal is clear: absolute command of the seas, and someday it shall be mine." Now up next, we're going to jump ahead to a post-crisis story, Underworld Unleashed. But first, let's show some love to today's sponsor, Verve. Today's episode is sponsored by Verve. I know we've said it 100 times, but Verve, spelled VRV, is one of our favorite streaming services for anime, retro classic shows, and original content. Verve, of course, has fan-favorite shows like My Hero Academia, Gary and His Demons, Bravest Warriors, and classic Nickelodeon shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Aerial Monsters, Rocket Power, and a bunch more. But they're also constantly adding new content to their lineup, like they recently added the Boomerang channel, giving us classic shows like Johnny Quest, Looney Tunes, and Scooby-Doo, just to name a few. And now you're asking, Arris, how do I get this incredibly awesome Verve? Well, wise and inquisitive person, just click the link in the description below or go to verve.co/variant, and Verve is going to grant all the members of the Variant Nation a free 30-day ad-free trial of their Verve Premium subscription. Yes, 30 days for freezies. You can also download the Verve app now on Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation, iOS, or Android, so you can watch your favorite shows and movies from pretty much anywhere. Again, just go to verve.co/variant or click the link in the description to get your free 30 days of Verve Premium. And by using our link, it lets Verve know we sent you, which really does help out the channel. So that's verve.co/variant, or click the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Alright, in the Underworld Unleashed crossover event, Ocean Master is one of the several villains that was like, sure, I'll sell my soul to the Demon Neuron in order to get some more power. And after doing so, he was granted a powerful magical trident, which he used to take over an Atlantean nation. Soon after, it was here that Aquaman told him they were brothers as they had the same father. This caused Ocean Master's mind to snap. After this, Ocean Master would briefly join Luthor's Injustice Gang, which consists of arch-enemies of the Justice League. Then in 2005, he became a member of the Secret Society of Supervillains. But now it's time to talk about Ocean Master's most popular story arc, Throne of Atlantis, from DC's New 52. During this story arc, Ocean Master is the king of Atlantis, as Aquaman has announced his rightful place on the throne. If you guys have seen the animated movie that's based on this story, you pretty much already have the gist. At the beginning of the story, we see that someone sabotages an aircraft carrier to launch its missiles at Atlantis. Atlantis, thinking they're under attack by the surface world, causes King Orm to carry out the Atlantean war plans that he and Aquaman created. So he leads the Atlantean soldiers to invade the carrier and literally has them toss it into the middle of a city as part of their first attack. Ocean Master then sends massive tidal waves through several coastal cities such as Gotham, Metropolis, and Boston. His plan is to invade and eventually sink the surface world. It's pretty badass. This is actually one of my favorite Justice League stories ever. Once Orm arrives on the surface, he asks for his brother Aquaman. Aquaman eventually confronts Orm and attempts to talk him down, being like, look bro, you're being a little too aggressive right now. Think rationally. But the Justice League can't just let the two siblings work it out, so they intervene. Which, to be fair, I'd intervene too, because as Batman said, he flooded Gotham. Families were trapped in their cars. People drowned. We gave you a chance, but... So Aquaman, being torn between his people and the Justice League, is trying to be the mediator, but Batman doesn't care and attacks Ocean Master anyway. So Orm retaliates and uses his magic to electrocute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, then imprisons them in water cocoons and sent them to the abyssal plane. Orm and his Atlantean soldiers then plant bombs all over in an attempt to sink the city, as they face off against reserve superheroes that Cyborg called in, such as Firestorm, Black Canary, Element Woman, Hawkman, and so on. At this point, things are getting nuts. There's a massive battle between the Atlantean soldiers and the heroes. Aquaman is going head-to-head with Ocean Master. The sea creatures known as the Trench are even in on the battle at this point, which is making things even more crazy. Things are just all over the place. However, after the Justice League escape the abyssal plane, Aquaman has an epiphany and realizes Orm isn't using the Relic Scepter to sink everything. And since the Trench can only be controlled and commanded with the Relic Scepter, that means someone else is using it to manipulate the Atlantean war. And it's revealed that the mastermind is freaking Vulko, who is one of Aquaman's closest allies. While Aquaman continues to fight his brother, he tries to convince him that Vulko is responsible for the attack on Atlantis. But you know Orm, he isn't listening to nobody. Orm just thinks that the surface world has messed with Aquaman's head. By this time, the Justice League managed to get rid of all the bomb detonators in Boston, so Ocean Master tries to use his crown to summon a tidal wave. But Mera is able to use her hydrokinesis power to turn the wave to hard water to stop it. In the end, Aquaman gives Ocean Master a hard left, which shatters his helmet/crown, forcing Orm to yield. To which the Atlanteans say, "King Orm has fallen, kill Aquaman." But Aquaman says, "You dare attack me even now? Orm has yielded. I am your king." Which is easily one of the coolest and most badass moments I've seen in comics in recent years. Aquaman is then given the scepter by Vulko, but Aquaman gives him a right hook and says, "How could you betray me like that? Do you realize how many people have died just because you wanted me to embrace my birthright and take the throne?" So with the scepter, Aquaman sent the trench home, and Vulko is taken in for an Atlantean trial. As for Ocean Master, he is sent to Bel Rev for his crimes after abdicating the throne and losing political immunity in the process. But when he's taken away, Aquaman apologizes to his brother, saying, "I'm sorry, Orm, I truly am." Again, this story is awesome, and even though I just summarized it for you guys, you need to read it for yourselves to get the full effect. Eventually, Ocean Master would escape prison during the Forever Evil event and ended up living with a woman named Erin after he saved her son Tommy on the surface. I bet you never saw that one coming. But more recently, however, in DC Rebirth, he left his new family after he learned Aquaman was dethroned by Coram Wrath, a tyrant who seized power. He also learned that Mera was named Queen of Atlantis and that she was chosen queen in exile according to tradition. This pisses Orm off, as he saw this as his opening to take the throne of Atlantis back. So this causes him and Mera to battle for the throne in the Mera Queen of Atlantis series. Him and Mera are the two main characters in the series thus far, and it's been quite good. But with that being his most current storyline as of this video being made, it's time for powers and abilities. The Silver Age version of Ocean Master had no powers, but that has changed as he is currently the Atlantean half-brother of Aquaman. Ocean Master is 100% Atlantean of royal blood. Because of this, he is incredibly powerful, possessing many superhuman abilities. He has superhuman strength like all Atlanteans, but to a greater degree because of his royal lineage. But he's still not as strong as Aquaman. Orm is so powerful, he was easily able to subdue and banish Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman during the Throne of Atlantis storyline. He's also incredibly durable, being unaffected by bullet fire and the immense pressure of the ocean. Extreme heat and cold also don't affect him. Orm's senses are all enhanced, so he has great sight, smell, and hearing. But what the average comic fan might not know is that Ocean Master is an expert with magic. And he can use magic for many things, including to create magical bolts, water control, and lightning control. Lastly, he is one of the best warriors Atlantis has. Mix that with all his powers and you have someone the Justice League doesn't even look forward to fighting. But now that you know a lot more about Ocean Master, you might want some reading recommendations. Read Aquaman issue 29, Aquaman issue 35, Justice League Volume 3 Throne of Atlantis, Aquaman issue 23.2 Ocean Master, the Forever Evil storyline, and lastly, the Mera Queen of Atlantis series. First up for Wednesday, December 5th, we have Batman issue 60. Batman takes on a new partner, and it's the Penguin. After rejecting Bane's crime boss co-op, Cobblepot finds himself in the crosshairs of some very ticked-off villains. Next, we have the Spider-Geddon Handbook issue 1. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe returns with all new collections of Spider-Man's profiles just in time for Spider-Geddon. It also features updates for Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and 2 Scarlet Spiders, as well as a guide to the Spider-Men across the multiverse. Up next is Doomsday Clock issue 8. This epic series continues following the shocking revelations of last issue, as the truth behind Dr. Manhattan's actions against the DC Universe are revealed. Next on our list is Venom issue 9. This series has been freaking awesome thus far, and it continues here with the start of Venom No More. Enough said. And last but not least, we have Martian Manhunter issue 1. No matter what you know about John Jones, this reinvention of Martian Manhunter from Mars promises to be a twisted and unexpected series. Plus, you guys know I love the Martian Manhunter, so I'm just happy he has his own self-titled series again. And that's going to bring another episode of Variant to a close, but remember to check out Verve. The link for that is in the description below to get a free 30-day ad-free trial. Also, check out our website, variantcomics.com, as well as all of our social media, like our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Links for all of that is in the description below, but I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.